Welcome student. In previous lecture we completed reading with meaning this poem that is In Time of Silver Rain. Okay, here uh, poet called rain, uh, rainy water as a silver. Okay, so poet considered the droplets of water as a silver. So he gave the title to this poem, that is in time of silver rain. Okay, so here we have English workshop for you. That is, first is the find pair of rhyming words used at the end of the lines. So here are rhyming words which are used in this poem, that is the rain, again, rain, again, head, spread, butterflies, cry, then so these are some rhyming words. You have to write down the rhyming words. Then second is the read poem aloud using proper intonation. Intonation means the um, uh, face, or making a face according to the word. It is called intonation. It is like acting. If you were to draw a landscape on the basis of this poem, what elements will you show in it? That you have to make the answer of this question. Okay, and a special arrangement of a short line makes you think about every detail. If you write the sentence in a usual manner, it does not have the same effect. For example, the first stanza would be something like, the earth put forth new life again, green grass grows, and flower lift their head. So the new flowers comes, and the wonder of a life spread all over the plains in times of a silver rain. Now try the following. Write one or two sentences about the something beautiful using your own experience and imaginations. Then rearrange the word in the sentences in the poetic form. You may write about the beautiful day, beautiful night, or a stream, a crop standing in the field, a graceful bird or animal, etc. So, student, you have to make a poem on this subject, that is a beautiful day, a beautiful night, a stream. These are the subjects given to you, and you have to write down the some words about this and make it or arrange it into the poetic way. Okay. Then the next question is, fill in the blanks with the reference to the poem. So you have to write down this, fill in the blanks with the help of poem. Then next question number 6 is the think and answer. You have to write down after thinking about these questions, that the poet talks about the heavy rains in the rainy season and the rain that has come after a long time. Find out the following with the help of your teacher on the internet, that is the seasonal rain, monsoon rain in India, and the rain in the countries like UK, which experiences a spring, summer, autumn, winter talk about the favorite season, 1 minute activity. And the next is the part figure of speech, that is the alliteration. What is the meaning of the alliteration? You have to write down in a book grammar. Okay, you have to make the grammar notebook and write down on this figure of speech. That is the previously also we saw the figure of speech of simile, metaphor. Now it is alliteration. When the same sound occurs at the beginning and two or more words in the same line is called as a alliteration. That is the Naina needs new notebook. Mean here n occurs again and again. So this is the alliteration of n. Find an example of alliterations from the poem. Collect other examples of alliterations. You have to write down the alliteration example from the poem. Okay. So here the exercise also referentially completed. Now we will start a new lesson, that is the King's Choice. Okay, let us start the reading with the meaning of this lesson. The writer of this this is the huge story. Okay, Shankar, a folk tale retold. It is the writer's name is Shankar. Okay, so let us start to read this story, The King's Choice. There was once a lion who was a king of the forest. He was a big and strong and very fearful. Look, so it is fierce. So there was once a lion who was a king of the forest. He was a big and strong. So the king, that is lion, it is by naturally, it is a very strong and very big. All the other animals in the forest called him a king. They brought him a gift from every corner of the forest. But the more the lion had, the more he wanted. So the lions, they give a gift to the lion, but once the lion get the gift, he demands more and more gift. They brought him a gift from every corner of the forest. But the more the lion had, the more he wanted. A king must have a court, he said himself one day. He called a fox to his side. You are known to be a wise and clever creature, Fox, said lion. So lion asked fox, I want you to be my advisor, because fox is a very clever animal in the forest. So lions said him that you must be advisor of mine or of me. Thank you, your majesty, said the fox, blowing low. So fox also accepted this opportunity of being advisor of lion, king lion of a forest. The lion next called the leopard to his side. You are known to be a watchful and a swift foot leopard. I want you to be my bodyguard. So king started to arrange the forest like a king. Thank you, your majesty, said leopard, bowing low. Leopard also accepted this opportunity or positions given by this king lion. The lion then called a vulture to his side. You are a bird vulture and can fly high. You are to be my messenger. Thank you, your majesty, said the vulture, bowing low. Lion started giving the opportunities or responsibilities to the different animals with their capabilities. For some time, all went well in the court of the Lion King. So, due to these responsibilities, the some time spent good in the forest or in the court of lion. The three courtiers never opposed the king. His wishes were law. Whenever he rose, they stood in a awing. Whenever he took a walk, they followed him. So these three-person vulture, uh, leopard, and fox remains loyal to this king and follow him every time. Follow him every time. So this is a big story. Follow him every time. The fox, the vulture, and leopard took an oath of loyalty to king. The king promised to give them food and protection. Protection for some time. All went in the court of lion, in the court of lion, King Lion. The three courtiers never opposed the king. His wishes were a law. Whenever he roared, they stood in awe. Awe means bowing. Bowing in a respect. Whenever he took a walk, they followed him. When the lion went hunting, they found the animal for him to kill, and after he had his meal, he left the remains for them. So they always had enough to eat. One day the vulture come back from the flight. Your Majesty, have you ever eaten a camel? He asked. It is very tasty. I ate it once in the desert. The lion had never seen a camel, but he liked the idea of trying camel's meat. Vulture flying at every corner of the forest, and he had a taste of camel also. So he saw the camels. So he advised lion that we must have a meat of camel. So the vulture said or advised the lion that once I have meals of this lion in a desert, so we must try this meal today. Lions think that this is a good idea to having a meat of camels. The lion looked at his other advisor. They were wise and experienced. He wanted their opinion. Now the fox and the leopard did not know the desert, but they did not want the vulture to seem wiser than them. So they said, since it was the vulture's idea, he should lead the way. Early next morning, the lion and his court started off to hunt the camel. They reached the edge of the desert easily, but after they left the shelter of the forest, the days became very hot. The sun shone down with the fire hot. High up the cooler air, the vulture flew hurry long, he called. The camel is not far off. The lion could not hurry any more. The hot sand has burned his paw. He could go no further. Stop, he shouted to others. Let us go back into the forest. I do not care to try the camel meat. The Lion King advisor were frightened. The forest was far behind them. They did not know how to get the lion back home. The leopard wanted to run away. The vulture wanted to watch and wait and eat the lion later on. But the clever fox thought of plan of the desert. He ran, saying, "I will bring some help." After running some time, the fox found the camel. The camel was indeed surprised to see him. "Hurry up, friend camel," said the fox. "Our king want you at once." "Your king?" Said camel. So fox was very clever guy. So he went to the camel and said that our king was wanted to you as a meal. Who is that? After running some time, the fox found the camel. The camel was indeed surprised to see him. "Hurry up, friend camel," said fox. "Our king wants you at once." "Your king?" said camel. "Who is that?" "I do not know any king. I only know my master, and whom I carry a good across the desert." "The king, the lion, has killed your master," said fox. "Now you are free. The lion has invited you to live at his court. Come along." The camel followed the fox. When the fox and camel reached the two lions' camp, the vulture and leopard were surprised. When the lion looked pleased and spite of his burned paw, the camel was presented to the king. He agreed to serve the lion in return for the home at his court. "Get the camels back, your majesty," said fox, "when you will return home." The lion at once jumped on the lion's back. His courtier fox and leopard jump up behind him. With the vulture flying ahead as a guide, they set off on the long journey back to the forest. When the travelers reached the forest, they were all tired and hungry. The fox, the leopard, and the vulture look at the camel. Then they look at each other and smile, hungry smile. They had bought a camel for his king's dinner. Now it was a time for the feast. The lion king knew what his courtier were thinking. He called the camel to him. "Friend camel, I have to thank you for saving my thank you for saving my life. You are welcome to live at court as long as you like. I promise you my protection." The lion's courtier was shocked. Had they not risked their lives and that he had tried camel's meal, the king wanted to let the camels live. The courtiers were not pleased with this decision, yet they could do nothing. The lion's paw were so badly burned that he could not go for hunting, but that did not keep him from the growing very hungry indeed. "Fox, leopard, vulture," he shouted, "don't you see that I am ill and hungry? Go and get me some food." The courtier, so he ordered these three guys of the court to go in the forest and search some food. The courtiers had to obey the king, so out of they went out they went, but they did not go far. They sat down in the safe place and discussed what they could do. I know, said the fox. After a while, we shall make a camel ask to be eaten. He told the others of his plan. They all agreed. So back they went kings. The first vulture stepped forward. Your Majesty, bowing low, we have found no food, but we cannot let you, the Majesty, suffer. I am poor creature. Eat me. The fox pushed vultures aside. I have more meat on my. I cried, eat me, Your Majesty, eat me. So fox pushed vulture back, and then he put forward himself and said that eat my meat. Now the leopard rushed forward. I am not much good, he cried, but I could make a meal for the king. The camel listed all these three offers. He must do as much. He thought, Your Majesty, he said, I am willing to give my life for you. Please eat me instead of these old friends, yours who will be more useful than I am. This was that the fox, leopard, and vulture were waiting for. They prepared to jump at the camel, but the lion stopped them. You are all good and loyal subject. My heart is touched by your offer. I accept them all. I shall eat you in order in which you offered yourself. The vulture, the fox, the leopard were shocked. Away flew the vulture, away ran the fox and the leopard. They were never seen in the forest again. The lion laughed to see them go. Then he turned to the camel and said, You have been a loyal and good, so you shall be my friend as long as we are alive. So here this lion said that I will eat your meat, but number wise, one who offered first, I will eat eat him first. So this offer turns into a terrible things. So all the vulture, the fox, and the leopard becomes very shocked. So they ran into the forest and never come to this lion or his court. So the lion laughed to see them go. Then he turned to the camel and said, You have been a loyal and very good. You shall be my friend as long as we are alive. Camel was very happy and grateful. The lion thought to himself, to be a king is a good, but not a kind is a better. To be king is a good, but to be kind is a better. This is the moral of the story, which is written by a writer Shankar, the folk tale retold. Okay, this is the story of a writer Shankar from his folk tale retold. Okay, here is the happy king. Okay, so this is the good story which have a good moral in through the whole story gives us an important message that remain away from the such friends like a fox. Okay, so students, we will stop here as we complete this story, and in the next lecture we will go through the meaning.